hello, everybody. It's your girl, Ashley, the amateur expert, coming to you live today for this episode of Asking for a Friend. I'm excited to have today's guest. She is my newest weed sister, and we are going to discuss amplifying our voices. You see, I'm rocking the Affirmed Armor shirt. They will be launching soon. Thank you to everyone who has joined. If this is your first time watching, we are going to discuss candidly a conversation with our guest. And so today's question is, um, why is it important to amplify our voice? And so our guest has just joined us, so we will get her in and we will start chatting.
Hi,
Hello, Courtney. How are you?
I'm well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, sis.
Hello.
Popping.
Got to get ourselves situated.
Right.
All right. We look good. We look good. Asking for a friend. Oh, listen, this is why we have our sisters so that they send stuff and we can pin it. Love you, Tiara, for that. Thank you so much. So, here we go. You ready, Court?
I am ready.
Why is it important to amplify your voice? Asking for a friend.
Asking for the friend, and I am the friend.
You are
Okay,
my
why
friend
is
today.
I am your friend today and every day.
Mm,
Why is it important to amplify your voice? Well, I think first, most importantly, I think it's important to identify that everybody has a voice. You know, like a lot of the time, I think one of the things that I witnessed during this whole little quarantine, civil unrest, like this uprising, this uproar, was the guilt factor of like, speak, do something, do something, do something. Like, your friends, everybody kind of making you feel bad or like down if you're not out here protesting in the middle of a pandemic, right? Like, oh, or if I'm not out here, every post is about a black business or, just something that's going on in the news. And so I think ultimately it's like, okay, first sit in it and like acknowledge what's going on, right? Like, this is real. How does it affect me, right? And then it's like, okay, what's my voice?
mm,
Is my voice, am I an artist? Do I need to write a song? Am I a rapper? Do I need to drop a freestyle? Do I need to, go live with friends and just have real conversations and dialogues with like-minded people? Do I need to talk to my family and get educated, right? Because what good is a voice if everything's going to be ignorant and just, you know, feel educated, right? So I think first you have to figure out what your voice is, and then figure out like how to move, because it's not always, oh, this is still new, right? I mean, granted, like
yes,
what, March, April, May, June, like what, maybe 4 or 5 months. So like this is a long game, you know what I mean?
for
Like this
sure.
goes beyond the summer, this goes beyond um the election, this goes beyond 2020, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you have to be slow to move, because you can do something in haste and you don't have the heart behind it. It could be motivated by ego. It can be motivated by, I just have to do something. So I think amplifying your voice is important, but identifying your voice is more important. And so I think like, and it's okay. It's okay if here in August, you are still trying to figure out what my voice is. Like,
For sure.
give yourself grace in that. So
I think that was actually answered so perfectly. I've always felt insecure about how I can add, right? And so what you've said touched home to me because I thought that I needed to be on the front lines or that I needed, excuse me, to continually post or do things of that nature. But I think it's very important to one, find your voice and discover what your role is. And I think it's so cool that you mentioned that there are multiple ways for us to amplify our voices once you find it. Um, and so one of the ways that I know that we are amplifying our voices are through or is through putting together this lovely event on Monday. And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, me and my wing sis here, my wing sis and I, we just recently graduated a wing, which is the Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network. Was a 4.5, 5 week intensive for women.
5.
Five, right. Technically, we're still ongoing. Right? We
Heavy on the
graduated, but
5.
we're still in the process. And so, yes, thank you, Joao, for dropping that link. So, one of our tasks, one of our assignments was to put together an event. And, it's Corona, it's COVID. So, we had to do it virtually. And so, my sisters and I brainstorming lots of Zoom calls, figuring out, okay, what can we do? One of the focuses throughout the program was figuring out your role, whether it's in the corporate space as an artist, in the nonprofit space, like whatever the case may be. We wanted to kind of take what we were learning and apply it. So we put together this event, which is going to be a conversation between two African American women in the entertainment industry. One of our co-founders, Miss Felicia Butterfield Jones, and Grammy nominated phenomenal rapper, artist, MC Rhapsody. And it's going to be a conversation between them, just kind of discussing exactly what we're talking about right now. Like, Felicia in the corporate space has worked in politics, has worked, in tech, now back into the entertainment industry. How do you amplify your voice? Because if you're a politician, you can't just outright here be like, like advocating hard on your social media, right? You might have to be the change in the inside. If you are an artist like Rhapsody, you have to be, and like, this may be politically incorrect to say, but I feel like this is a safe space as an artist. Like, when these artists start to speak, you could be jeopardizing your fan base. And so it's important to have these conversations, like, and I'm not here to tell you as an artist or as a professional or as a producer if it's your responsibility or not to give up your living and your livelihood, because if in the corporate space are people speaking up and losing their jobs, so it's not my responsibility to tell you what to do with your platform and how you should speak, and then not every artist should speak, right? Because either way. But I think it's important to acknowledge that, and that's what this conversation is about. Like, just kind of working through those thoughts, those thought processes. This is a heavy burden. Like, just because I have a platform, am I responsible for this? And so we're gonna have some special guests. Buy your ticket and you'll see who those may be. But of course, I can definitely say, like, fellow artists and creatives, not just solely focusing on music and not solely focusing on artistry, but and we have a live performance from Rhapsody as well, following the conversation. So I think it's going to be really dope. We're going to have some features from some of our classmates. So yeah, it's this coming Monday, August 17th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I think it's going to be dope. I'm excited.
I'm super excited to see what we started with, to see what we're ending up with. It is exciting, and sorry, I'm trying to read the comments while I'm speaking and thinking. But yeah, I think it also just shows that there are different ways for you to be a part of the movement. And so Joa, our sister, says it's everyone's responsibility to do something. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys can buy a ticket, come to our event. You can donate, and you don't just have to donate to us, although that is strongly encouraged. But there are are so many other platforms that Tamika Mallory's platform, until there's freedom. I'll put it in the show notes.
Apply those lean things. Like, always do research.
Tickets are $9. But there's so many ways that you can use your voice. And so we're just here to just sort of discuss those things and share with you all that it doesn't have to be the conventional way. And so you can, create events with your friends and donate the money to a cause. You can promote voter registration. There's so many different things that you guys can do. And so we just wanted to have a candid conversation and share with you all the different ways that you can be a part of the movement, but not mostly, but shamelessly, we want to talk about our event.
Right. A shameless, very loud, shameless plug.
Shamelessly.
conventional is so 2019, right? Nothing is conventional.
Exactly. We are shaking things up this 2020 class, Ween, and I'm so excited that you guys are here with us. Rumor has it's $9. Tickets are $9 to commemorate that we are the ninth class that is graduating
Yeah. But you
or
can
that has
still donate.
graduated.
You can still donate. Even
Correct.
you can buy a ticket, and then provide an additional donation. Or if you might be busy, we understand that, but you can still donate. Or
For
you can
sure.
donate.
And there are also sponsorship options, and we can put those also in the show notes. I see that our Ween sisters are joining us, and this is just making my heart so
Hey guys.
happy. Hello, 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 everybody. 30 in, 30 out. That's right. We love y'all. Um, and so, Court, is there anything else that you want to add to this
Sure.
conversation?
I think, yeah, to kind of piggyback, I can't remember exactly who said it, but I think it was Draw that was like, everybody does have some form of a role. Y'all can y'all can work the polls.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can. I think the best thing you can do right now is educate yourself.
For sure.
I think, and so I spoke on giving yourself grace, and I don't want people to use it as a crutch.
Mm.
Raj, I don't want you to use that as a crutch, like, oh, giving myself grace, I'm still trying to figure it out, so let me just sit back and do nothing, right? There's a difference between like educating yourself and then like being lazy and complacent in a space of just like, I don't know what to do, right? So I just think, like, in the midst of educating, part of educating is finding something to do. Like, there is something to do, aside from just sitting in your room educating yourself. I know from Ween, we're literally all around the world, or if not all around the world, we're from all around the world. But I know we're all around the country. Some of us are all around the world right now.
Sure.
But I think find out what you can do locally. People talk about all the time these big picture, high level, like the presidency, but it's like, go back to finding and understanding what's happening in your neighborhood. Like, before your city, your neighborhood, like, you can go back to even like Trayvon Martin and how, that was a neighborhood watch situation. So I think being active in your communities, pouring into the youth in your communities. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, this major social movement is happening, I have to go and march and protest for defunding the police. But it's like, or just get active in your community. Figure out what's going on in your community, what's going on, like town halls, these things that when we were younger, at least when I was younger, it seemed so like just, I don't want to say far-fetched, but like town halls. Nobody really has town halls. It's a town hall.
It's a real thing.
But now it's like, when is the town hall? When is Atlanta's town hall? It's like, who is running? I'm actually on my computer. Like, who are these candidates? You know what I mean? Like, when y'all go vote in November, it's not just about Trump and Pence versus Kamala and Biden. Like, no, and shout out to Kamala, right?
I was going to say, let's just
give it for the greatness that is in Black women.
Absolutely.
But there are other things on that ballot, right? Look up your ballot now, right? It's August, right? I'm not encouraging, mailing in ballots, but if that's what you want to do, okay, but be careful, be mindful.
Be mindful. And also know that if you are mailing in your ballot, you need to mail it in October,
right,
so that it gets in there safely.
Exactly. But you can go online right now and look up your mock ballots. And that way you have no excuse, because at this point, it's 2020, and if you're like me, you shouldn't really be doing much besides being in your home. So you have no excuse.
We do have more time on our hands.
You have a lot of time. You have no excuse to do the research. Like, you should be well informed. You should not be like, see for everything, when you go to vote. You should be like, nope, I know exactly who this person is. Let me go vote. You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly, because I sat at home and I researched every candidate, and I sat at home and said, you know what? And let's be clear. I know a lot of people have issues, right? And have their quarrels with what's going on in politics, but vote and be active, right? Like, vote and educate, like, vote and be a change agent in your neighborhood, but vote. Like, even if you don't
all of the things.
Even if you don't agree with voting, you still, like, I mean, because we can have these debates, and you can get a glass of wine, you can be live and charged with your family and your friends for hours on end.
For hours, yeah.
Things. But whether you agree or disagree, do the work. Like I know I'm a Christian. I profess to be a Christian. It's like how I believe in Jesus. Like I would hate to live this life, get to thinking, there's nothing, get to heaven, and then God is like, what's up, right? I look at voting the same way. Like I would hate to be like vote no more, and I don't vote, and then what do we have right now, right? I would much rather be like, I voted, I did what I had to do. If it didn't work, okay,
Right.
what's the worst that happened? I stood in line, I took some time. So a shameless plug to Jesus, one.
Hey,
Oh,
hallelujah.
but two, also like, that's just my spiel on things.
No, I completely agree with you. A lot of times people will not be active and then complain. And I'm like, you
Hello.
just can't do that. You have to be a part of the change. Um, Raj says that local movements make global change. And I love that.
So,
And then Tiara asked us, how would we define our role in the movement?
oh,
So,
you can go
well,
first,
I
actually.
will go first. So for a long time, I didn't think that I had one, or I wasn't sure what it could be because I'm not well versed in politics, and I assumed that in order to be um, in order to have a role that I needed to be 100% clear on everything. And what I've learned is that I have a platform, right? I have a social media platform. I have a voice that I can talk to with my friends to, like we said, educate ourselves. And so I use my platform to have these types of conversations. I use my platform to post and to promote the things that I'd like to see for our future. I also post links all the time in my bio for so 2020 for different petitions that we can sign. So I mean, I am not one for crowds, right? And so don't necessarily want to be out and protest. And so, I did attend a prayer fest that was out, like that was, or not a prayer fest, but I think it was a pray-in. I'm not sure, not certain. But it was my way of feeling like I was adding to the movement. And yeah, I think those are the things that I'm doing currently on top of creating events with my sisters that are raising funds and awareness for good causes.
Dope, dope. Um, well, I think I think I'm in a weird, not a weird, but an interesting place because, here comes that P word, pivot. Ooh.
Pivot.
Definitely doing some pivoting in life. But I will say, like, um, I work in music. I love music. And as a creative myself and as a music creator, like, I understand the power of education. So I
Mhm.
think my role is educating. And when I say educating, like, I can have the conversations with people that work in political spheres and political spaces, and like I can digest that information, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, we're talking. But then, like, when I go to a studio or if I'm at like a little chill place and I'm having conversations with people, I'm not going to sit here and use the same words that I just spoke to a campaign manager about, right? I
Absolutely.
might be like, vote. Like, you want to go to brunch, right? You want to have those mimosas, right? We're voting on that. Like, that's important. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of my things that I think is my role, just kind of being this piece, this link, a bridge. Um,
Liaison.
yeah, like a liaison championing for my people. And like I think that's beyond, like, that's in social justice, that's in music education and music literacy, that's in like the industry literacy. It's like, yo, I get it. Like, you really don't care. Or you think you don't care until like
Hmm.
you can't go to brunch. Or like before we could buy alcohol on Sundays, it's like you didn't think you cared about voting until like you was trying to buy alcohol on Sunday at 11 o'clock. And it's like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, you should have voted. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think these things matter until they do. So I think one of my roles is like being a liaison, learning and then redigesting and representing that information to my peers. And then also, like, eventually I want to go to in the corporate spaces. And I think, as educated Black women, as educated people of color, our responsibility, one of the things that everybody can do, you might not want to protest, you might not want to like sign petitions or whatever, but one thing you can do is be a representative for
Hmm.
Black people wherever you go. You know what I mean? And like whatever that may look like, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you, own your blackness, whatever that might look like for you. You know, whether that's making sure like you are committed to even just wearing my natural hair. Like I'm gonna show you that you can be professional in this instance like that, or in this environment. That's still being a representative. For me, it's like I'm not gonna walk into anybody's room. I don't care if it's a studio. I don't care if it's a corporate space, a job interview, a live, and not be an excellent black woman. Like I'm gonna be
Amen.
dope. You know what I mean? And it's
I
and it
love that.
doesn't mean I'm gonna be like Becky. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be sitting here like, hi, oh my God, like yeah, right? But I am gonna be able to talk and be well spoken and be able to have intelligent conversations. And then I can switch it up. Like now what we gonna talk about, now what we wanna do. You know what I mean? And so I charge everybody on this live and when you talk to your friends, like what one thing that you can do to amplify your voice, one of your roles in this movement is to just be a great representation of blackness. Like
Show up excellently. Mm-hmm.
every time you step out the door, whether that's in your black communities, making sure that you're not littering in your community,
Ooh,
whether that's
speak on
making
it.
sure, like when you go out, making sure that your community, you look like something. You know what I mean? That's being excellent. That's just taking excellence into your everyday world. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's what it is. Like code switching is something serious, but I don't think showing up excellent as a black woman is necessarily code switching, right? I just think it's me saying at home with my boyfriend, with my mom, with my daddy, my grandpa, or with my boss, I'm gonna be excellent as a black woman, and that's just gonna be like, oh, she's just a dope person, and she's black.
Right.
It's like, oh, and she's
Absolutely.
black.
The
You know
added
what I mean?
caveat.
So I think that's definitely something that we could all do.
So, one thing that I forgot to mention about our event is that when you purchase a ticket, you can also register to vote if you aren't currently registered. So we are just helping you elevate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that someone had said earlier was that Black and brown voices have been suppressed for far too long, and it is important for us to now take the time to amplify our voices. Don't sleep on the power of amplifying your voice. What else do we have here? Yeah, definitely know your registration status, and you can check that online. It's super easy. Can we
And
talk
check it
about
often. Check it often, like the day before you vote. Check
right? Because they
because voter
switch polling
suppression it's real.
for sure.
It's out here, y'all.
For sure. Can we talk about people who may be misinformed about the power of their voice when voting in an election? A lot of people think their vote does not matter. Yeah, and I think you spoke on that a little bit, Court. Um, so I'm just making sure I'm catching all the comments. So yeah, I mean, I used to think that like on a low level, right? I used to think that um, not that it didn't matter, but I felt that the president was elected, not selected, selected, not elected. And
Mm-hmm.
so, based on the electoral college and all that stuff that we learned when we were in like third, fourth grade, but what I didn't think about in the big picture is the local politics as well as our votes influence the Congress, right? And so the same thing that gets the president elected. So yeah, no, it's very important to vote and to do your research on who you think is important to vote. And I'm not going to say that you need to vote one party or the other. I think it's very important for you to do your research and see what's going to be best for you, your family, and your community. Um, and at this point, none of our candidates are perfect. And we truly have to pick the lesser of two evils. But it's important, like I said, to do your research, but not voting is not the vibe.
It's ghetto to not vote, y'all. It's like I
It's
told my
not
friends, like, if you
the
don't vote,
vibe.
I'm judging you, like out loud and
Real talk.
open. Um,
Real talk.
and just to that point, though, real quick, Ashley, I think like it's literally I think it's like having faith, and you have to just have faith that even so, like if you think about it from the lowest level, as you start with, okay, here I am voting for like my mayor, here I am voting for sheriffs, things of that nature, right? Eventually, the tides will turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you can see these. I want to say blue states or red states turn to the opposite color, but like the more you vote, I do think you can see your change a lot more when you go to the base level of community and local voting. Um, I want to just say, like, it's it's super okay to doubt, right? You're human. We have access to so much information right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the more you read, the more you're gonna question things. So it's perfectly okay to have doubt. I just don't want us millennials, Gen Z, people of color to let our doubt and our wokeness turn into like cynicism and
Yep.
like turn
Or
into this,
parallelism.
right, and turn into like I
Paralyzism. Paralyzing?
I, I
Paralyzing.
follow.
We don't want it to be paralyzing.
Right. I just don't want us to get stuck thinking
Mm-hmm.
my vote doesn't matter anyway, right? Because I'm not in politics. So I can't speak to it. And I know I've seen the documentaries too, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, my friends, I get it. But I just don't want us to go down that rabbit hole because you can go so like and you can get real and then it's like, you know what, they're releasing these documentaries so that we do think our voice don't matter, so then we're not gonna vote. So either way, it can go a lot. Like, you can have those nights where you and your friends are drinking, doing whatever, and before you know it, it's like
Yep. All the
living.
conspiracy theories, all of the things.
So, it's okay to have doubt, but I just think while you're figuring out, you still have to have action. And like, it's literally the proof is in the pudding with local elections. And if you're going to vote locally, you might as well just go ahead and vote for the president. Like you're
Might as
there,
well.
you're at the poll.
Might
So
as well.
yeah, that's just about the doubt thing.
And then Dra mentioned in the comments that it's important to support Black-owned and Black-focused causes. August is Black Philanthropy Month, so let's invest and create a pipelines for people who look like you and us. I think that's very important. And just because it's a Black-owned business, do not expect a discount. Pay the full rate because
Absolutely.
we deserve it. Cora, I've enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Me too.
I think we should talk about the event one more time, just
Of
because
course, because that's why we're here. That's
that's
what
why
like
we
our
are here.
voices through this event. So you can go ahead and talk about it, Ashley. Let me, you can drop your spiel.
So, ladies, and gentlemen who are on the live, we want to first thank you for being here. We also would like to share with you that we are having an event. We just graduated from the Ween Academy last week. Is it last week? Last week,
Was it? No,
Tuesday.
it was 2 weeks ago, I think. Maybe. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
I think it was last week. Anyhow, we graduated. 30 in, 30 out, we did it. And so our last task is to host this virtual fundraiser, and we are having Felicia Butterfield Jones and Rhapsody. They are going to be having a fireside chat followed by a live performance by Rhapsody, and you don't want to miss it. There's going to be special appearances, and we're just really going to have a good time and show you why you have a voice and how important it is to amplify it. So the comments are going sick. So again, thank you so much. And Courtney, what do you have to say about this lovely event that we've been
Um,
planning?
when you buy a ticket, when you donate, and you're supporting a cause, WEEN Women Entertainment Empowerment Network. It was co-founded by 4 women of color, 4 Black
Yeah,
women, and they're all amazing and dynamic in their own right.
super
And
dope.
basically, the academy trains more of them, like us. Like it trains us, it teaches us, it pours into us, it stretches us. Um,
Mm.
and it's free. You don't get this kind of education. Think of like college slash internship slash the apprentice. Like it's a little bit of everything. And so that's funny. So you're supporting a great cause when you donate. You're not limited to that $9. That $9 is just the baseline. But
Just
10,
the
20, 30,
baseline.
a band, you know what I'm saying? Like drop what you can. It's Friday, it's payday, you know what I'm saying? Just pour. What can you do to amplify your voice? You can support WEEN, the WEEN Academy. When you buy a ticket or do a donation, you can also register to vote and check your status, which again is really important. So I hear, if y'all read the comments, like, ooh, the rumor mill is popping. I don't know who
You
might pop
don't
up
know
on this
who's going to
thing.
be guest appearing. These ladies have access to everybody, and now we have access to that. So, I
Right.
mean,
So I would say get there because you don't know what
Buy
you're
a
gonna
ticket. There's also going there's
get.
also
Okay.
going there's also going to be a raffle from a artist that and his I mean his work is phenomenal, Young Yemi, and we're just super excited about how we all came together and put together this awesome show. So thank you so much for your support in advance. Tickets are in, I mean, yeah, tickets are available now. The link is in my bio, Courtney's bio, all of our bios. Um, so we hope to see you Monday.
Yeah, come out, support, and be great. And vote, people. Vote like your life depends on it. Okay.
Also, wait, Court, we have to be still for like 5 seconds and take a photo. I mean, not take a photo, but be still so that I can use it for the
Set it for
photo.
the cover.
Yes,
This is a
because
black woman's business as well, the hoodie. She's based out of Atlanta. It says, I'm a better person when I put God first.
amen. I love
It's
that.
called Love Billboard, but this is a black person hoodie. I'm repping for the A. I'm in Atlanta,
I
Black
love that.
Hollywood. It's the Black Mecca, baby. So
So I
yeah,
guess I should definitely plug the shirt that I'm wearing because it's mine, Affirmed Armor. Oh, can we
man,
see it? Can we see it? Can we see it? I am
I am
enough.
mad.
A.
Man,
This will be dropping soon. I love the comments. You guys make me happy.
it's funny.
Court, ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile, cheese, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
starting over?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that was awkward, but I think we got it.
Okay.
Um, thank you guys for joining us. The replay will be here. Court, you want to drop your socials? People want to follow you.
Oh yes, please. I'm only gonna drop Instagram because Twitter is. If you follow me, Courtney Renee, COURTNIRENEI. Yeah, follow me. I think I'm interesting.
Also follow Ween online, and
Yes.
all of the information will be in the show notes. Thank you all for rocking with us. And do yourself a favor, buy a ticket for Monday, donate to a great cause, amplify your voice.
Amplify your voices, guys. Vote, 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 vote. Thanks, Ashley, for having me. You're amazing. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.